Whether you're heading to a local business mixer or an international conference, today's session will help you to make sure that those connections don't just end with a handshake, they actually lead to real results. Do you ever feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure about what to do next to grow your business? You are not alone, and this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Boost Your Business by Business Heroes. This is where service based entrepreneurs, whether you're delivering in person, online, or a mix of both, come to get the strategies, the insights, and actionable steps you need to level up your business with clarity, confidence, and impact. So let's dive in. Hi, and welcome to Boost Your Business Live. I am Sarah Watts, and I have a session for you today, which is called From Hello to Follow Up. Make the most out of every conference connection. So, whether you're heading to a local business mixer or an international conference, today's session will help you to make sure that those connections don't just end with a handshake, they actually lead to real results. And I just came back from a conference with partners in Arizona, in Scottsdale, and I'd like to share some insights with you about how I think that it's like you want to get the most out of your conference and your meetups. And I have some good ideas on how to make it really valuable for you. And I actually made it so that this month in April, we are going to talk all about networking and how to uplevel your professional networking and that superpower of running a business that is so valuable for you. So I will share some real results, some real strategies from personal stories and everything else that I learned from the last event. So I usually go to events maybe 5, 6 times a year that is not inside of my own country. But then I'm also the president of a local membership or network on our little island Lidingö outside of Stockholm. And I'm also part of BNI, which means I'm the vice president for our chapter right now. So for me to be networking, like that's my natural state. And I think that so many of us can, even if we're good at networking, we can always look at different things that we can do to uplevel it. And I will break down how we can do this in a good way. So I have some notes with me, of course, like I usually do. And I also have some slides if you are watching this live. If you are listening to this on the podcast replay or if you are watching on YouTube, I am so happy that you joined us. So today we will cover what to do before the event to set you up for the conference and for success. And we will also talk about how to start conversation naturally and with clarity. We will talk about how to follow up, the strategies around it, so it doesn't feel like you're chasing people. And we will also see who to track and what to track when it comes to your connections and see what actually converts and turns into results. And you have to forgive me this this time around. My voice is really hurt by having a cold and then attending a conference and talking too much. So I have a glass of water with me, so I hope that this is gonna work out well, even if the voice is different than it usually is. So let's start. Let's get started. And if you haven't downloaded the Business Heroes Grid yet, do so. Go to the link that is underneath this video or on the podcast show notes. It will give you a clarity on how to network, and I will present how to use it in the end of this session. So if you listen to the podcast, go and download it and print it out and have that next to you when you're listening. Okay, and it's absolutely totally free. We use it in almost all our trainings, and I think it's so valuable to have that kind of clarity on one page to get that strategy all mapped out so you don't have any thought of like, how should I do this? I think that's a key to be planning strategically for everything you do in your business, and that will really be a helpful tool for you. So let's get into how to set you up for success. And it's important to think about that everything starts with how well we prepare from an event. Even if it's an hour-long event, yes, networking on a business mixer or a 3-day conference, it's the same kind of thing that sit down and really prepare will make the whole difference of the result that you get. It's not coming to an event and just winging it that's going to give you the results that you want. So a lot of people just show up and hope for the best, and I hope that that's not going to be you. And the most impactful networking starts even before you enter the room. So let's look at what points I put into this session to talk about. The first one is to identify who's going to be there and do your research. So what do I mean by that? It means that you can do a short list of 5-10 people you want to connect with during a conference or the business mixer, and think about what's in it for them. Why do they want to connect with you? And if you don't have a list of attendee, you might know people that are going to attend because you have that list. But if you don't, you might have thoughts about who do I want to look into knowing better in the room. If there is a certain person that's your ideal client, or if you're looking for a supplier, you're looking for a partner, what are you looking for when you're coming to this networking? Is it just to have fun, or is it actually to do business? And the more you prepare, the better it's going to show up. So if you don't know who's going to show up, call or connect with the organizer and see if there's an attendee list, or they can explain more, or even ask if they know someone who's going to be in the room that is going to be a good mix for you to meet. So really think about how you can strategically do the research. And as I said, if you have the names, pick 5 or 10, do some LinkedIn searches, do some Facebook searches, Google them, find out more so you are more prepared when you start to start conversation with them. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. So who do you want to meet and why? And why is important because you need to be aligned with if it's someone who is going to promote you, or are they going to invite you to be a podcast guest, or do you want them to be a client of yours, or what is it that you want and why do you want to meet that particular person? And if it's not a person that you now have with a name, what's the role or the company or the business that you're looking for? And what's in it for them? Like I said before, if you figure out how you will approach them, and if you really think about what they need, if you look at the post that they do on LinkedIn and they say they are looking for or they're discussing this topic right now, you can open up with those kind of conversations when you meet them. So be really intentional when it comes to looking into why should they meet you. Because when you are opening up a conversation, you can touch base on exactly what you know. And then this is something I feel like a lot of people miss, is that before they go to a conference or before they go to a business mixer, to really, let's say this, block out time in your calendar for follow-up conversations. If it's online meetings or if it's a short conversation in a DM, or if it's a call, or if you have time to write emails, all those things needs to be very aligned with the timing of the conference. You cannot say that, oh, I love to meet with you, but it's like 6 weeks away before they can meet with you. That is not a good vibe. So clear out your calendar for the week after so you can get people to book in your calendar and have a conversation with them, or schedule a phone call, or like I said, maybe yes, send LinkedIn connections afterwards or send emails, but you have to have time. It's not going to happen if you don't block it. So make sure that you do. And before the conference, when we talk about strategic planning your conference and you're planning to meet these people and you want to follow up with them, how are you going to follow up with them? Write emails beforehand. Write some snippets you can do in DMs. Create a follow-up system that really makes it easy for you to track it. And You can use like a Google Sheet, you can use a CRM system, you can use, I don't know, you shouldn't use post-it notes, but you can do something that works for you. I just think that it's important for you to think about beforehand how you are going to connect with the people at the conference. Are you going to ask for business cards? Okay, if you're going to ask for business cards and you exchange it with yours, how are you going to utilize that business card when you come back home? Are you going to put that on the desk and forget about it for a couple of months, and then finally you found it and you feel like, oh, I didn't do anything about them? Now it's embarrassing to connect with them. No, right? So it's better for you to say, okay, if I'm going to connect with people with a business card, this is how I'm going to follow up. I'm going to insert that into the CRM system, and I'm going to send them an email. Can you write the email beforehand so you have at least the skeleton of the email? It's going to make it so much faster for you to follow up when time comes. Or if it's for segmentation, are you looking for podcast guests? Are you looking for blog collaborators? Are you looking for vendors, clients, partners? Okay, so these are different groups, so you should be able to segment them. So, and follow up with them, maybe with different ways of follow up. And that's a good way of sitting down before the conference and think about, who am I going to meet? How am I going to segment them? How am I going to follow up? And make it super easy for you to actually get into action when you come back home. So we have something called the Network Booster. And the Network Booster is a template that is inserted into Keap, which is our CRM system, where you have our proof of concept proven system in place that you can use as well as I can use it. But we made it so that it's easy to segment people, to follow up with people, and make it really valuable. So you don't have to do it from scratch. If you are interested to know more about that, please go into the link in the show notes or in the comments below and schedule a demo with me, and I will show you how my system works and how I use it and how you can get hands on it too. Okay, so let's talk about the conference when we are in the conference, at the event or the mixer. And I think that the networking is actually a mindset. It's not about just collecting business cards. It's about starting conversation that can turn into real collaborations. And one of my really good advice is to arrive early. Be one of the first at that event, because there is so much networking going on before the conference starts. If you are there for a 3-day conference, maybe you're traveling into town the day before. Maybe you can do some meetup with people the night before for dinner or for a mingle. And that is something that I usually do. So I am not arriving at the first time. If it's like 9 o'clock, we start in the morning, I'm not arriving at 9. I'm arriving at like maybe 8:15 to make sure that I have time to get the sense of what the conference is about, or the location, who is there, who can I talk to beforehand. So make sure that you are there early. And then it's easy to say, it's very comfortable to just sit down next to someone you already know. And that's fine if that's the start of the conference, but maybe in the next break, make sure that you move to another place. In the next session, go to another place. If you are at a bigger conference, make sure that you go into different rooms. You sit by different people, introduce yourself, and just plainly ask them, why are you here? What are you looking into? Or what is your biggest takeaway from this? So you open up a conversation with a question where they can talk. And then they will ask you naturally, okay, so what do you do? And why are you here? And what's your biggest takeaway? It's easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. And yeah, this is something I know a lot of people do. They hand out their cards and say, hey, connect with me when you come back. That is like saying that they will not connect with you. And the reason why is because everybody's super busy. Maybe they are not networking strategically like you. They haven't put in time in the calendar to follow up. And might not happen. So make sure that you are asking for theirs, and then you can give your business card. But I realize the more I network nowadays, the less people have business cards. And I think that business cards is really valuable to have because it it can be a second reminder when people come back and they feel in their pockets, or they empty out their bag and they see your name again on your brand again. So I don't think it's a waste at all, but I know that a lot of people don't have them. So I saw a lot of people having like maybe like a thicker metal card with a QR code on it. So I could scan it and I could connect with them. I could schedule a call with them. I can get into like their links that they had that they wanted to promote. It was like a link tree version on um, on a card. That was really smart. I'm actually going to look into that. But I don't just want them to take like a picture of my QR code and I don't get their information. I want them really to say, okay, I connected with you. Okay, can you please send me a WhatsApp message? Or can you, if you are networking and you are giving them the QR code to your LinkedIn profile, send them a message right back and say, hey, we met at this conference. So you both of you know how you connected. And the same thing is if you're bumping your phones. If you're bumping your phones to exchange your business cards, same thing there. Make sure that you make a note who you met, why you met, what is the next step. So it's easy for you to follow up. Otherwise, you have maybe 5 business cards with you. You have a few new connections on LinkedIn, but you don't know who you talked to about what, and if they actually went to the conference because someone else could connect with you at the same time. And then you might have scanned some QR codes and you got them into your phone book maybe, and you have no idea who the latest one was and what you talked about. So make sure that you make a few notes and send a message back and say, hey, thank you for the connection. It was nice to meet you at, and we talked about this. Let's circle back on this. So make sure that you are intentional with every connection that you have. I have a not a superpower, but I'm known for Swedish chocolate when I network. And it's yeah, I don't know if you like if you met me at a conference and you've seen these kind of chocolates, it's usually that's what I bring. I bring them to the conference. I put them on the conference table where you have coffee or tea in the breaks, or I put them on the different tables during a break or something, because I know that after a few hours in a conference, you have lack of energy and you want to have something. And this is really nice. It's not super sweet and it's not full of mixed chemicals. It's really pure and it tastes so good. It's addictive. And when I meet people, I think that it's a good way for me to circle back to them and say, hey, this is Sarah, we met. And if you don't remember me, I was the one who was bringing the chocolate. Then people know. And it's also a way for them to connect with me and circle back and say, hey, Sarah, thank you for the chocolate. Can we connect? I need to talk to you about this and this. So it's really easy to, like an icebreaker to use for me. And it also gives me the opportunity to bring extra big chocolates to the conference to hand out to speakers or to people that I connect with. That is more of a way for me to have and reason for me to talk to them, as well as them asking me, what do you do and why are you here? And it gives me a lot of good connections. And also, if I meet them once again, they say, hey, did you bring chocolate? And they kind of say, hey, I love you when I bring them, because they really miss them, and especially if we haven't met for a while. So I'm not saying that you should bring Swedish chocolate. Yeah, I think that you should think about how can you get something to be rememberable? How can you get something to be something that people remember when they talk to you or we circle back to them? Otherwise, it's so many people coming to conferences and we have a good time when we're there. We feel like we want to connect, but there is really not a reason to connect again. because you don't remember that conversation, especially if you, like me, try to sit everywhere, talk to a few people. And that's the thing. You're not talking to everyone at a conference or a networking mingle or a mixer. You don't have time doing that, and it's exhausting. So that's why I said, like, in the beginning, think about like 10, 15 people or 5 or 10 people I want to connect with. So you make it short and sweet, but still memorable so you can follow up with them. So here is a few conversations I had. Uh, I was at a conference this fall, and I had the opportunity to talk to one of the members of Shark Tank, and he got the chocolate from me. I met Michael Hyatt, and he got some chocolate from me. I met with Clayt Mask, and he got some chocolate. I met Iana Kutcher, and she got some chocolate. I met with Amy Porterfield. She got some chocolate. And everybody, when you're not seeing the images, you can see that how happy they are and how surprised they are. And they really stop and they have a longer conversation with you. And maybe you have 10, 15 people in the line after you, or maybe hundreds. But since you have that kind of icebreaker with you, you have a conversation that is longer, and they remember you when you actually DM them later on and say thank you for the presentation or the insights that you got. So this is what I do, and it works really well. And I've done it for 15, yeah, more than 15 years. And here's also a picture of me talking to Ahad, who is the CEO of Kajabi, which is also one of our partners. And I had a conversation, a possibility to have a conversation with him at the conference. And in the end of the interview that I did, of course, I had some chocolate with me, and he had it before, and he was so super happy. And he said, like, I hope that you had it with you. And of course I did. So it gives me the opportunity to reconnect, and not just connect once, but reconnect several times with people. So think about, what is your chocolate? What is your magic thing that will stick when you have a conversation? And I think that I should actually maybe have a like a partnership with this chocolate brand, but I don't. It's not. There's no like commercial in this. This is just me as a person bringing chocolate because I know they like it. So, okay, so let's look at the thing when you are done with the conference. Let's say you had been at like a mixer for a few hours in the evening. Okay, the next day, what are you gonna do? Or you, as I now been in Phoenix, Arizona. I was there for a few days. Coming back, I have now my time to actually follow up that I added to my calendar. So this is not when you are sitting down and creating your follow-up strategy, because that's going to take time and it's not going to be suitable now. Now it's important for you to be on time to follow up with people. So that's why I say pre-think about how to segment people, pre-think about how to follow up, make the connections that you are going to do with the SMS that you're going to send, or the text, or the DM, or the email. Or are you going to do several ones after if they are not responding? I know a lot of people are not logging into like LinkedIn all the time, so they not might miss your DMs. So are you going to send the second one? Okay, when? And have you pre-made a kind of a template for it so it's easy for you to do it fast? And that's when I say after the conference, after the mixer, after the situation where you have been networking, this is a time to execute your follow-up strategy, not creating it. And also add context, where you met and what you discussed. And that's why it's so important. Even if you have a template of this is like how we met, and then you have like an ending with some call to action, maybe book a call or schedule a Zoom meeting or something. In the middle, you have the possibility to say something. Hey, we talked about this, and I wanted to make sure that you are aware of this and prepare for this for our meeting. And here's the link to follow up. This is when it's important for you to document this at the time when you got the business card, or you got the connection on LinkedIn, or you bumped your phones. This is when you have It's like a time saver, and it's also a memory saver that you can really connect because you already send something first. So you both know what it is, so you can repeat that in your follow-up kind of email or DM. And use the block time for meetings and follow-up. So at the event, you might have already been scheduling calls, so you have them in your book before you actually come home to the workday. Or it could be that now is the time when you start sending out proposals to be talking and following up. But these block time is not supposed to be something that you will say, it's good if I have it, but maybe if I have something else, I would prioritize this. No, you have to be responsible for the ROI for the event that you attended, the time you spent to actually prepare for it, the time you spent on the event. And now when you come back, you are going to make sure that you get the ROI and get what you wanted out of the conference. So don't schedule something else on that time that you had. That's kind of very sacred time. And then track conversations, make notes, make sure that you know what's going on, look at the opportunities and the next step. And this is so crucial to see how many, if you were looking for maybe 5 new clients from that event, and you brought home maybe 20 business cards and had really good conversation, maybe 15 of them are now scheduling phone calls with you, maybe 10 of them are having a conversation with you to actually be part of your offer, but maybe 5 of them eventually bought. Then you know that you are, if they have so many people at the conference that are your ideal clients, you are going to bring home this much, and the average value of every client is worth this much. That's when you can realize that you can decide what kind of lead generation tool is the best for you. If it's networking, if it's attending conferences, or if it's actually better for you to do advertising, to make sure that you know exactly what ROI for that event turns out to be good or maybe not. So that's why I think it's so important for us to track what we do, so we make sure that we are not wasting our time or our money or our resources. So I have some things that I want to share with you after the conference I went to last week, which is the last week's conference takeaway. And I showed up prepared and approachable. And that is something that I really trying to do all the time. Like I show up on time, even early, to make sure that, and not sitting on with my phone or not being distracted with other kind of things that I need to do. I don't have to do work when I'm there. I don't have to take phone calls when I'm there. I don't have to respond to emails when I'm there. So many people trying to do a lot of things at once, but I try to be present, and that really accounts for how I show up. And being prepared, saying, "Hey, I know that you. I want to know more about this and this in your life or in your business, and this is what I can see can be interesting for us to collaborate on or something." So having that makes it easy for me to have short conversations. So you're not sticking with one person talking with them for 2 hours. Like, and then everybody, you're looking around, it's like, oh, everybody already left from this business mixer and you were so interested to talk to. No, this is not when you should deep dive into things. This is when you should start like getting into new connections and also reestablishing old connections or renewing them, getting them energized. But then think about directly, what is the next step? Is it okay? Sounds really interesting. I know that we are now on the same page. It took us maybe 5-7 minutes to have that conversation. We have a clear next step, which is we already scheduled a call the following week. Now you can move away to the next person, because that's when we are more effective. But if we are talking to the same person for a longer time and the break is over and the next session starts at the conference, and you just talk to one person, it might be that you're wasting your time. So really think about how you will use your time to be short in your conversation and create a next clear step. So I did some intentional connections. I looked into the people that was going to be at that conference, and I have now invited a few podcast guests for the podcast, which is going to be so interesting to deep dive into conversations with them. So I'm super happy with that, and that's going to be something that you all can listen to when they are launched. And I also have some really interesting affiliate and partner conversations that are booked for this week. And I have a few client referrals that I'm also going to follow up on. So for me, that was a really good conference. And I think that when when I really think about what I wanted, I actually fill up my buckets that I wanted to bring back. And the priority now for my scheduled block time that I have this week is to do this, but also to do a lot of follow up and conversations and follow my strategy that I put into place before I even left Sweden to go to Arizona. So I think that that's the key point to really think about. Now I'm in the middle of following up. So in a few weeks, I know more about what the actual result was, but I'm so far, so good. So, and if you think about circling back to the chocolate, I have on my screen now a few snippets from the emails and the social media DMs and things. And people are saying, hey, thank you for the chocolate. You saved me. And I know it does. So it's really good. Or, hi, Sarah. It was great meeting you last week. And thanks again for the chocolate. I've been enjoying it. Can we schedule a call? So I don't have to be so proactive because people are like saying, hey, do you know what? I want to talk to you. So even if I have a list of people I want to talk to, a lot of people that was in the room that got my chocolate and got to talk to me briefly want to deepen that conversation. And I am so happy that they reached out to me. So think about how you can get something that sticks when you have a conversation with people. And in the beginning of this session, I talked about downloading the Business Heroes Grid, which is the framework to build out your structure of your business. That's when you have on the top of the sheet, it's like the customer journey in the 5 phases, what the customers have as a goal for each phase and what the customer has as a activities that they do. And then in the middle of the sheet is more what kind of internal external conversation or activities we do to make sure that we are supporting them all the way. And how are we structuring with easy SOPs for every stage, or what kind of tech do we use in each stage, or what kind of improvements we can do in each stage, and who is responsible for each stage. This is a really good thing to actually bring out when you are strategically planning for your networking event, because then you can see, okay, who's going to be on the conference and what are they looking for? And you are going to figure out, okay, how can I attract them, like my chocolate? How can I get them to exchange their information with me? What can we talk about to educate them more what I do and what I'm looking for if they can help me? And how can I give them the next step and the next step? So if you, like me, are looking for a podcast guest, then I will say, okay, how can I attract a podcast guest from this crowd? What do I need to talk about? What do I need to educate them in? How can I schedule them? How can we get into motion? How can we then have that conversation that we can record as a podcast? And how can we get it out to the world? And how can I wow them by getting them the feedback that we get from the podcast? I will map everything out. Or I'm looking for an affiliate partner. I will do the same thing. Who can I talk to who is an affiliate? How can I start leading that conversation to bring that topic in place? How can I schedule them to be on one of our affiliate group conversations? How can I give them the right information as an affiliate? How can I sign them, and how can I distribute all the information that they need to make that successful? And how can I wow them as an affiliate partner with us? So as you can see, this is really a game changer for a lot of people that never thought about the strategic way of planning their business. And you have usually one of these for the regular way of doing the business. This is how we usually do it. But then you can bring it out again and say, hey, are we going to do a promo, or we are going to go to a conference or a business mixer, and I'm going to map out everything I'm going to do for this to be successful and get the ROI. So this is something I really would like you to get your hands on. And as I said, it's free. Okay, if you feel like this has been valuable for you, this conversation, I have a good next step. We have a free masterclass. Like I said in the beginning, April is our networking superpower month. And that means that we want you to uplevel your professional networking. So we do have a lot of blogs around this topic. All my lives are going to be about this topic, but we'll also have a free masterclass. And it's going to be kind of like an hour. We're going to have a Q&A in the end, and we're going to talk about how to get more out of your professional networking. So even if you do a lot of networking today and you want to level up, this is a masterclass for you. Or if you feel like, I don't think that I actually is that good and I want to let's get started because I feel kind of awkward when I come, or I'm an introvert and I don't know how to use my powers in a superpower way when it comes to networking, come to the masterclass. I will teach you a lot of different things around how to strategic network and make it easy for you to do it. Because in the end of the thing, I want everything to be simplified for you to do step-by-step segmentation, step-by-step strategies, step-by-step to-do list. So it is no guessing work, and you get the um, right results that you're expecting from whatever you do in your business. But this month, it's networking. And the other thing I want to give you as a next step, if you haven't gone through our Business Heroes Grid training yet, you can do so. And as a listener to our LinkedIn or our podcast or our Facebook Lives or our YouTube recordings, you have the opportunity to do that with the Business Heroes Grid code. That is Grid 27. You will get it for only $27 instead of the $197 that it is on the website. So you get into a training with me for like 45 minutes. It's on demand only. And you get access to a community where we share how we use it and I respond to questions. And also we have some Q&As every month about this. So right now, that's our bonus for this. And if you are more of a action taker and you want to be able to get into our entrepreneur business school, it's called Business Heroes Academy. It's where you build relationships with other service-based business owners who also would like to level up in their entrepreneurship and in their business at the same time. And they don't want to do it alone. They want to have the accountability of me and a group. They want to make sure that they are strategically taking one step at a time and not overwhelming themselves. At the same time, they actually leveling up their business and their entrepreneurship. And I would love to have you there. So right now it's not open, but get into the wait list. When we have enough people on the wait list, we will open up the door and we will invite you in to do the next cohort. So get in there, and if you are on the wait list, you will also have the opportunity to grab the time-limited bonuses that will come when we open up the doors again. And we just keep it open for a short amount of time, so it's really good to be on the wait list. It's no you're not binded by anything to be on the wait list, but you get the notifications when we open. Okay, so it's time for some Q&As, and I would love to know more about how you feel about professional networking when it comes to conferences and business mixers and so forth. So drop it into the comments or send me a DM. Let's really use this month as a superpower of networking, because I think that will be really interesting to see what we can do together. And in the end of all these sessions, I usually say it's time to level up. It's not enough to be the same every week as we were the last week. Every week we need to level up our opportunities, our and how we do things. And this month is about the network. So more intentional to refine a strategy that actually works and supports you when you do this will help. And building relationships that truly is going to make a difference in your life and in your business. And I think that is my challenge to you, to think about how to be leveling up your networking. So I will be back with more insights and help you grow step by step, and boosting you and your business one step at a time, and this month for networking. So see you next time.